right, been a good start on the head. Hey, hope y'all doing pretty good. Be sure to smash that like button. Let's see who we got. Billy, Plywood, what's going on? Rumpelstiltskin, my man, Woodchucker, Chainsaw Carver, Caleb, what's going on? Dad, Happy Carmungeon, Matthew, hope you're doing pretty good. What's going on, John? All right, we'll keep right on it going. We're making a bear sitting on top of a beehive box. And realistically, man, this head's a little too big. I got to keep working it down a good bit smaller. But it's starting out pretty good. I mean, you can already see something starting to come out of that. I've never had that happen before. Something spun out in there. I'm gonna find out what it is. That or the chain just come off. I mean, it looks awful loose, so that could be. The spool's still spinning. I can hear it. I don't know if y'all can hear that or not. But either that or it's on fire inside. I don't know. Let's find out real quick. Y'all hit that like button. Appreciate you guys watching. I think it actually came off. Now that is really rare for me to knock a chain off, but I wouldn't be shocked. Hey, the spool, it might have spun out too. Let's find out. No, the spline's still in there. I think it's all right. It just somehow, it's gonna be hot as hot too. However hot is. Y'all know how hot it is? Okay, that's kind of hot. And granted, I run them loose. You kind of have to. We'll see. Yeah. Well, that's the first time for everything. All right, let's run it some more and see if it happens again. I don't know if it does or not, but hey, if you're in here, when you're in here, knock all that off. There's no reason not to. You know, it's not too bad yet. In fact, I probably wouldn't clean it out until this weekend. And I'll use the same every day but Wednesday this week, probably. And, I mean, it can last that long. But that's the only thing I could think of. I'm not sure. And I can tighten this up a little bit. You're supposed to run loose, though. Makes them slide over the tips good. It's oiling good. It's pretty good and wet. But that's life, you know. So what we got is this little bear is going to be, is it going in there far enough? Yeah, I think so. This little bear is going to be sitting on top of a little beehive box. And the more I cut this thing, the more the bear is actually looking as big as the box. I was going for a cub, but we'll see. Actually, how loose is that? That's pretty loose. Let's see if we can't pick it up just a little bit more. I'm surprised that came off the sprocket like that. I don't know. There might be something wrong with it. If there is, then I got another one. So it's not like a dire emergency. How about that? We'll try that. Stuff rarely breaks on alive, but it does. I mean, that's the thing. Things happen. You just gotta stop, fix them, or grab another saw and go. Which I do have another one. So, but you know, I mean, what if that one breaks? And this one was easy to fix, right? That's the way it goes. All right, let's hit it. Y'all hit the like. I'll keep going. What do I do with my headphones? Other than the sweating like a pig. And I'll give y'all an idea of the concept too here real quick. While I'm stopped anyway. Here's what I'm going for. So, little bear on top of the box. Here's kind of side view of the bear itself. Don't mean it's gonna look like that, but that's what I'm going for. How about that? Okay. And trying a little more realistic bear, like the swoop of the head and stuff. We'll see how that works out, but I can try, right? is ready to run out of fuel. You can hear it coming. Wow. All right, so it's coming on pretty good. Here, I'll turn it your way for a minute. And that cute little bear head. You know, he's a little guy. You know, his little, oh, you know, little cubby guy. He's having a pretty good time in there. We're going to dig him out, though, a little bit more. We'll get him down to where the ears are dug out, nostrils, everything. You can kind of see. This is going to take a little more, especially for me, a little more realistic form in that head. But we'll start digging out his paws here in a second. I want to get the nose cut out and kind of get an idea on the mouth and all that, and then we'll go from there. But that said, if y'all haven't hit the like button already, be sure and hit it, and we'll keep right on rocking with this dude. I'm going to dig that ear out. Yeah, I haven't even started this one yet. Boy, it's humado for you Spanish-speaking folks. General shape of the head, clear down to the eye dips, everything. It's pretty well carved. So I'm gonna go from there. I mean, I even got the nose and the mouth cut in, so that's looking pretty good. So next, he's got to be, and this bear is kind of crammed on top of himself. So the back's got to be cut over, make its little ball basically, and cut down where the front legs are gonna go down. I'm gonna have to get out 16-inch bar for that, so I'll do that real quick. and we'll keep going from there. Man, I'll tell you, my face is so sweaty. It's humid. It's been thunderstorms and all that crap going on out here. And never really rained hard here. I mean, it did before I got home, and that was about 4 o'clock. Oh, it wasn't even that. Give me something to work with to start digging pulling the arms down, or the legs down, the upper legs. I call them arms, but you know what I mean. Yeah, man, I got legs, man. bear food. I don't know what it is, but it smells good. Anyway, hit that like. 97. We're 3 away. Hey, 1 away from 100. That's awesome. Hit that like button. If you had a heart at all, you would. Okay, all right. Down a little bit, get the sides fine. Because the feet's going to be like right here, and kind of right, they're like right in here. That's where they're going to be, and the rest of this is going to be the box. But I'm really happy with how he's going. Not only that, just the head just looks excellent. But that's it. Hit that like, man. We're up to 110. That's awesome. We'll take all we can get. It's kind of funny if you watch how that one to climb that knot. There's a pretty good knot there, and I mean, there's nothing I could really do about it except for climb the knot or pull away. You know, whatever. It was wanting to fight. All right, let's dump some fuel in this baby. It won't need no more water or oil, but it'll need fuel. I will need water. How about that? Come on, dummy. Put the water in there and drink your gas. How about that? Why don't you try that and see how long you last? Touche. See, it's pretty fun to talk to yourself. I don't know if you guys know anything about that. But Jake, I was planning on having Jake out here. For those of you who don't know who Jake is my comfort carving. And he's actually a very unfriendly comfort carving. He's quite the jerk. He's a kind of sassy little guy, so always got bad stuff to say. And it's a good thing that you guys can't hear him. You know, he's a piece of wood. Because the things he says are typically fairly offensive. And so I'm glad that you can't hear him because he's a piece of wood. But I just can't believe he thinks the way he does. You know, it's awful. But that said, he's my comfort carving. And he's not out here right now. He made me mad earlier. I even put him on a thumbnail. I told him that. He said something I didn't like. I just dipped him in water and put him in the closet. All right, there we go. Particularly important ring around the posy, because if it didn't come out to you fairly straight, your box would be all screwed up, and it's not too bad. literally had a wood chip go up in my nostril. That was pretty funny. But whatever. That's the roughed out bear. He's pretty well roughed out. I'm going to see if I can't cut that box out now. And, you know, it's a piece of round wood. I got to try to make it look like a square box. Like he's sitting on a square box. And he's got a little bit of some extra realism. Like it lumped on this side. It's just the way it worked. It's just the way it came out. I didn't plan it that way. I got fortunate. How about that? But he's super cute. I mean, that guy's super cute. And if you don't agree, you can pound it. No, it's kidding. I love being a jerk. It's just so fun. Okay. Anyway, yeah, there's a few things like a dip in the eye I could see to clean up. But you can get that stuff later. You're just trying to block him out right now. And the next thing I need to do is cut this box. And so I'm just going to cut 4 straight pieces and down as far as I can. And then try to get it squared off. The biggest thing is getting this piece squared off. The top lid is always bigger. Getting this top piece squared, and then what he's sitting on, and then the pieces below will be a little bit smaller. So we'll see how that goes. Start with the top first, and I'm not going to cut any more than I have to. Oh, okay. I gotta beat that out with a rubber mallet. Just the way it goes. Man, that's like wearing it out, ain't it? There we go. It can. Okay. Hey, this keeps me in shape. I'm 49, getting ready to turn 50 soon. And the harder I work, the better I'm in shape, you know? side out too? I guess I am. Man, I should have had the chain going a little harder, shouldn't I? Whatever. Learn the hard way. It's the best way. Learn the hard way. Right? Come on, baby. I know you're done. Now, let's see if I can do this without making that mistake again for the third time and how to beat that thing with a hammer. Let's see what we got here. Hey, Dot, what's going on? Glad to see you. Woodchucker Caleb, what's going on, buddy? Glad to have you in there. Billy, Shoemate, Tim, Liz Creations. You guys are awesome. Glad to see you guys. Heck yeah. All right, what do you want me to look at? I'm looking. Are you smiling? Come on, I need smiley faces. See that? Isn't that funny? Where's the smiley faces? Let's go. Smiley faces. Come on, for God's sake. This is funny. Give me some smiley faces, for God's sake. Let's go. Hey, there's also some emojis y'all can be popping up. What the heck? All right, I'm on a ramrod it. Ready? Get that one right. And that's a heck of it. It's out of it about, I don't know, 2 inches. It's pretty wild. That's the way it goes. Maybe I should beat it with a 10-pound sledgehammer. What do you think? I don't think so. That'd be pretty hard on that little micro pico, I'll tell you. Oh my God, look at all them great smiley faces. This is horrible. Oh! Got her out. Heck yeah. Heck yeah, guys. looking at it, there's some bark edges around in that log to where that lid's not going to be perfectly round, and the corners are going to be kind of rounded off. But I'm okay with that. I mean, it's still going to be cute. I don't care what you do to it. It's going to be cute. I'm going to go ahead and dig the lid out next. Actually, I need to clean the bear up around the edge a little bit more, and then we'll dig the lid out, and then I'm going to come up this way, cutting some of it out to kind of dig that lid out more. But heck yeah, it's going pretty good. I can't complain a bit. There's one thing I like. It's lots of smiley faces. And heck yeah. Hey, Roy, what's going on, little Maj? Sonny, what is that? Gabby Lally? I don't know. Hey, Lamaj, hey, Plywood, what's going on, old bud? Glad to see you in there. I need smiley faces. I need smile power. And if you haven't hit the like already, what the heck, man? Why are you so stingy? Okay. It's a good thing your dad wasn't that stingy with your mom, or you wouldn't be here. Whoa! What the heck? Are you out of fuel? I wouldn't have thought I would have been by now. No, heck no. It's just being Helen Keller. There we go. Before I cut this, I want to try to mark it. Try to get it as straight as I can. If I just go cutting it, it's going to come out massively crooked, I'm sure. So I'm going to try to put a little extra effort into trying to get this right. The downside of it is I'm going to use a marker, and that wood's really, really wet wood, so I don't know how that's going to come out, but we're going to find out. We'll give it about, I don't know, about 1.5 inches, something like that. The idea is just to try to make it look somewhat optically the same. And I have an astigmatism. I am not counting on this to come out that straight. But that said, I'm going to do the best I can. Right here is your little butt taking over it a little bit. That's all right, isn't it? Okay. That's probably down. Yeah. Can't get them all right? Don't ask too much. Okay, so that's right there. Where's this one? That's right there. Okay. Yeah, that's as straight as it's going to get. How about that? Okay. Yeah. All right, let me cut that out. About chain, maybe a little more than chain depth for the lid, and we'll work our way up it after that. Okay. 16, although I hate to because the carbon bar just cuts that out so much faster. good. And now I just need to make like the box lines for the pieces. Usually they're like in, I don't know, I think 3 layers, something like that. And so I need to put the lines in for that. And that's going to be super cute. I mean, you can see that's really coming together. Bear sitting on top of it like he took it over, you know, and no one else is getting in it. But anyway, let me draw them lines out, and we'll go from there. It's going to be, that's going to be a little fun. When I say fun, I don't mean like, aha, this is great. I mean, it's going to be like, man, you know, I really wish I'd have been an airplane pilot. That kind of fun, you know what I mean? No. Here, we tell us a story. Well, just so you know, I'm a fairly nice fellow. You don't want anybody to know that. Let's go out there. Yeah, I'm going to do it this way because I'll have straight lines if I do. And that don't mean this thing is even sitting straight. The carving itself, it's hard to say. I don't really care. But it'll be fairly decent all the way around. And yeah, I got to do 2 lines like this. Yeah, yeah. So there's been storms all around us, but man, I'll tell you, there was lightning out here earlier. I want to take a picture of the 6-foot bear for the thumbnail on this live stream. And I just looked, I went in and I was charging my phone. I was talking to Checker on the phone. I told him I got to charge my phone. So I went in there and I charged my phone. I thought, oh, I need to make a thumbnail. And so I went back and got my phone, walked down there, and I was thinking, yeah, this thing says there's dangerous thunderstorm, but heck, it seems pretty nice here. And just then, 2 giant lightning bolts went boom, boom, right over here within a mile of me. And I mean, like, you know they're a mile because you see them and you hear them within a second. And they generally make you jump. And if they don't make you jump, it's probably because you're dead or you're, you know, you're hearing impaired, which I am hearing impaired. But I'm not that kind of hearing impaired. And so, of course, I was like, you know, I probably ought to rethink this decision I made here and get my butt back up there in the carving center. I didn't run, though. There's something about it, you know. I mean, running is that thing that you're supposed to instinctively do before you die. And today, I don't know. It's like, you know, if it gets me, gets me. You know, I'm trying hard. You know, I'm not trying to escape. You know, I'm not standing out here, you know, flying a kite or holding a ground rod or anything like that. You know, I'm just walking. I'm minding my own business. You know, I think that's good enough. You know, let's see. I wouldn't call it suicidal. I just called. I was, you know, I mean, I'm old. I'm fat. I can't move that fast. You know, heck with it. That's like, you know, you get this age. You're in the ocean, shark comes up. It's funny, all the kids, 20-somethings, 30-somethings, oh, we got to get out, shark, or we're going to die. You know, you know, 40-something, 50-somethings is like, okay, well, whatever, let's see what happens. You know, I mean, you kind of like give up, you know, so let's see what he's going to do. Can I get a margarita out here? You know, maybe one last margarita before I get chopped up, chewed, whatever happens. And if it don't happen, maybe it'll happen to the next guy. He's floating on a surfboard. He looks more like a seal than me. And I can say I had a pretty good drink while I watched. You know, I mean, you see what I'm saying? It's just what happens when you get older. You're like, okay, you know, I might die today. You know, it's just, I'm kind of used to it. I've been driving around in city traffic a lot. I know what that's like, you know. If I don't make it, hopefully it happens fast enough I don't know what happened. Right? When you're younger, it's like, oh no, what's going to happen? What do you think's going to happen when the plane crashes? Well, it's probably going to be on a big fiery ball. Oh man, that's optimistic. We don't really need to hear that right now. I mean, you know, that kind of negativity doesn't make us feel very good at all. We want it's like some real optimism, like, you know, there's parachutes and balloons and we're going to survive. And you're like, no, probably not. Probably not going to make it. You know? Well, where do you think we're going to end up? Well, somewhere at the scene of the crash, I would say. All right, let's see. Get these lines. And one more. But anyhow, probably not be all this energetic this late in the day. You know, people trying to sleep and stuff. But you know, I don't know. I want to tell you. Okay. All I know is you're crawling in bed and your wife's got to listen to this. She's probably wanting you to find something else to watch, right? I understand. I don't want to be any hard feelings if that helps. Okay. All right, let's see what we got here. Lots of smiley faces. My favorite thing. Heck yeah, Billy, look at some eyes. Eyes on me. Look at them little bears. Heck yeah, I like that. You guys are awesome. 176 likes. Okay, I'm going to do these lines. And then what time is it? It ain't even 9 yet. I haven't even been on here. I have not been on here but an hour and 10 minutes. That's pretty good. Especially considering the amount of progress. Are you done with my glasses, sir? Okay. The bee box basic lines, and at some point I think I'll Dremel carve like a couple of bees right in here is what I'm thinking. But in the meantime, I think I want to get this face just cleaned up a little bit more, and I'm going to hair the bear. I'm not going to fingernail him, but I'm going to for how much I've been getting out of it, I definitely can't complain. Okay. I think I got enough to not have to put some oil in this thing, but I better check. Hate to find out you're wrong. Yeah. Your bar locks up when it catches on fire. There's a smoke machine. Yeah. I know one thing, that bar looks nice and wet. Okay. How about I put engine oil in it? I got some 1040 engine oil out here. And I just about grabbed the wrong jug. I don't know why I got 1040 engine oil out here. It belongs in my truck. But that's life. When you're done, that's the way things go. Don't let your expectations be too high. We're on the back at the moment. And it's just got a little bit of different look, you know. I mean, it's a little different over here than here. And, you know, I'm like, you know, it's a really would really be. So let's just leave it like that. This is where you get in the part where your forearm starts to burn right there. But man, I mean, that forearm's just getting harder than a rock over the last 2 years. So I can't complain. I mean, I don't know what I'll do with it other than keep a saw hole up, but you know, whatever. What are we up to? Okay, 907 and 185 likes. Maybe 5 more likes. That's Helen Keller in that. I'm not going to deal with this cat. Helen, let's get it. It looks good enough. I think he's pretty nice. Well, I still got to sign it though. I'm gonna put that in the back here. But other than that, and cleaning the edges of the box up, putting the eyes in and all that stuff. And this dude's looking pretty good. I just gotta carve some bees in it. Check this dude out. We'll take the camera and walk around him a little bit. I think he's super cute. I mean, he's just a super cute. It's definitely the best little bear cub I've ever made. I think he's pretty nice. And of course, that's no burn or nothing like that. He's kind of got a goofy little look about him. You know, his little one eyebrow down a little more than the other. And I could fix that, or I could just leave it. I don't know. We'll see. But that said, side profile is really awesome. I mean, really awesome. That's the most realistic side profile I've ever done. So I'm happy with that. And the bee box looks pretty good. Can't complain. Let's see. I appreciate that, Grumpy. Hey, what's going on, Cheech? Glad to see you, man. Heck yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I know what you mean. 361 Don. It's all tricky, but you just try. Hey, Pine and Oak, what's going on, man? Glad to see y'all in there. Hey, Matthew. I don't think so. Was it supposed to? I don't know. What, I hit something that made it seem like it was going pretty slow. So that micro pico, it was going pretty slow, and I was not pushing it. Let's see. You're always starting up the saws. I know. You never see me filling it up. I know what you mean. Yeah, so side pit crew. So he's sitting on top of the bee box. And what I'll probably end up doing is somewhere down here, carve some little bees in with the flex shaft. I'll carry it in there and do that. And we might, because there's a good bit of bulk still here in his nose, I might like put one right in here somewhere. I think that would be even cooler still, without a doubt. But we'll see. I don't know. But that's what I got. I mean, he's pretty much done for chainsaw carving. Other than, you know, like I said, I see that brow. To me, it looks like I ought to just fix it now. Yeah, because if I don't, I might forget. That definitely needs a little tweaking. It's just down more on the one side than the other, you know. But I think it come out pretty good. I mean, it's not what I was expecting. I'm pretty happy. It's better than I expected. I don't know. Heck yeah, that looks good. I'm happy with that. That really leveled it out. I don't know if it'll be obvious on the camera or not, but let's see. Yeah, I leveled it out quite a bit. It still might be a little lower here, but depth-wise and everything looks pretty much the same. I'm pretty happy with it. Well, that's a pretty good-looking little bear. He's a little cute little guy. And I may give him some claws, or I may just leave him like that. I don't know. That's hard to say. But I'd say no harder than that was. I'll be making more of those. But that's what I'm thinking. Maybe I could take one side. It's a little heavier here. And maybe flex shaft a bee in right there. I'd have to clean up quite a bit of the nose before I did it. But I think I could do it. And then I want to put two on the box itself. I think that looked pretty good. But anyway, man, I'll tell you what. You talk about sweaty face. And hey, we almost got to 200 likes over this deal. That's pretty good. I can't complain about that at all. 196. And there might be a few people can smash that like button yet. I mean, I'm getting ready to leave. If you don't, I mean, it is what it is, but I'll take it. Heck yeah. And check out Woodchucker. When are you going to be back on, Chucker? Let everybody know when you're going to be carving again. And, hey, I appreciate that, Tim. That's what I'm thinking. But carve a little bee in the nose, you know? I don't know, with flex shaft. We might even wait till Friday and do that on the Friday night live stream. I don't know. Hey, we did get one more. That's awesome. But Chucker, let them know when you're going to carve again. And, of course, we got Creation Dust 777. My buddy, Josh, one of the best chainsaw carvers in the world, will be on at 2 to 5 on Wednesday, followed by Wowie's Workshop. He's on usually 5 to 7, 7:30, something like that. Wednesdays is tough for me. After about 5:30, I got to go. I can't watch no more. But, okay, you'd be on 4 o'clock Arizona time. Would be 7 p.m. here, EST, I think, Eastern Standard Time. I think that's what it would be, but 4 o'clock Arizona time. Heck yeah. Hey, I appreciate that, Plywood. Heck yeah, guys. All right, I'm going to bail. I mean, you see my face is sweating, covered up with the sawdust and all that, you know, and I'm red because I'm so hot, and I'm red anyway because I'm, you know, just a fat redheaded guy, you know, from Scotland. Anyway, that's what we got. All right, y'all have a good night. Appreciate you guys watching. Come back when you can stay.